What other intel agencies did you guys work with that collectively amongst each other, you're like, dude, I work with those guys. I don't trust them at all. And which intel agencies did you work with? You're like, I think those guys are fair. Who did you not at all trust, even though you had to work with them?
The Israelis.
You didn't trust them.
Not as far as I could throw them.
PBD was not expecting that answer. He wanted this ex-CIA officer to say something like, oh, the Muslims, oh, Saudi Arabia or Iraq, Afghanistan. Nope, he said Israel, and wait till you hear the stories that he talks about in here. I'm not surprised at all. You might be. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to my channel. Now let's continue.
Or was that a cultural thing?
It was cultural. But my very first encounter with the Israeli intelligence service, the Mossad, I was a brand new analyst. This is like March of 1990. And I was instructed to participate in a large-scale briefing of the Israeli Mossad and Shin Bet representatives in Washington. And
so for those that don't know, I believe Shin Bet is also another one of their intelligence agencies.
We don't allow the Israelis into CIA headquarters because they would always come with gifts, and the gifts had always listening devices packed inside them. And, somebody brings you a gift, you x-ray it. It's the normal process. And we're like, you guys can't keep coming back here every single time trying to bug our conference rooms. So no more. So,
and was it easy to x-ray and see that they had bugs in them?
Yeah.
What percentage of the time did gifts have bugs in them?
100%.
Wow, 100%. Now imagine this for a second. Your ally, your best ally, your favorite ally, your best friend is trying to spy on you in every opportunity that they get. 100% of the gifts that the U.S. intelligence received from Israel always had a bug on it. That's not trustworthy at all. And we're supposed to work with these guys? Ugh.
Quiet.
No, seriously.
Are you kidding me?
Absolutely not. I wish I was.
100% of the time they brought gifts that had bugs in them.
Yeah. And we're like, okay, no more. You can't come on campus anymore.
Will you guys joke about it with them? You're like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What is this?
We
So
would
was
say,
it like a joke?
Come on, you guys. No, they were serious. They were hoping one would slip through. So we had a safe house in Virginia, and we would meet with them there. So I'm one of like 8 analysts at the time. And because I was the junior most analyst, I went last. So, the political analyst, the econ analyst, the oil analyst, the military analyst, they all take their turns. And it comes to me. And because I was overt at the time, I used my true name. So I said, my name is John Kiriakou, and I'm going to brief you today on Saddam Hussein's state of mind. And the Mossad guy, his glasses were like this. And he says, spell your name? So I spell it. And then in front of all my colleagues, he says to me, you are Jewish? And I said, I am not recruitable. I am not recruitable. Don't even think about it. I was so furious that he was ready to cold pitch me right there in front of all my colleagues.
That's disgusting, but also I'm not surprised. And shout out to this guy for some level of integrity where you see your country first and not another country. Like you're working in the intelligence agency, so you should be working in the best interest of the United States. And if you are that easily recruitable for a different country, that says a lot about your character. And like you probably should not have been in that position in the first place.
Like, let's have lunch afterwards. Like, get out of here, moron. Try to recruit me in front of everybody.
John, was that across the board with everybody that didn't trust them the most?
Oh, yeah.
What percentage of guys you work with didn't trust Mossad?
100%. I'll give you another example.
Wow, PBD is so shocked right now because this goes against everything that he wants to believe. He wants to believe that the Israelis are the good guys and all the stuff that you see on TV and the internet is fake. That's just bias and the Palestinians are wrong and Israel's just trying to do the right thing. And this is going directly against what he's learned about his whole life. And he's still not going to buy it. I mean, I don't really expect much more than PBD, but, I'm happy that he had this guest on.
So when I went on a tour to Bahrain, the guy I sat next to at headquarters and his wife went on a tour to Jerusalem. They were absolutely lovely people. Husband and wife tandem team. They were declared to the Israelis. So the Israelis knew that they were CIA officers, and they went to Jerusalem for a 2-year assignment not to work against the Israelis. We don't work against the Israelis. So when they arrived, the chief took them to Mossad and said, you already know them. but now they're going to be here for 2 years. She's going to work on Palestinian issues, and he's going to take Arabic classes at the university. Easy. So they're there for a few weeks. The ambassador has a welcome party for them, and they go back to their house after the party, and all the living room furniture had been rearranged while they were gone. And they're like, okay, the Israelis break into the house. We get it. It's your country. All right. You don't have to be jerks about it.
For those that don't get what they're doing, they're making a statement, almost trying to intimidate the couple that, hey, stay in your lane. Don't try to do anything against us. We know where you live. We could get inside your house. Very silly. This intimidation game is something that you'll find very common from a lot of Palestinians. That you hear the story all the time that the IDF plays these intimidation games, even before October 7th. This is way before that. This has been going on forever. They have young kids that are like 16, 17, 18 in the IDF, and they just play this intimidation game. And it's, across the board on their intelligence agencies, their military, everywhere.
That December, they go to a Christmas party at the ambassador's residence. And when they get back to the house, people had taken shits in all their toilets. And
again, this type of disgusting and vile behavior is something I would totally expect from, the IDF. The IDF does stuff like this all the time. And, sister of the IDF would be the intelligence Mossad. I mean, I'm not surprised at all. This is just the Israelis tend to have this arrogance within them where they actually believe that they're better than everyone else. They deserve everything, and everyone else are just animals.
Left it unflushed.
What?
Yeah. Why? It's just an intimidation thing. They do their 2 years there. The ambassador has a going away party for them. They drive back home, and when they get home, the dog is whimpering under the dining room table. Somebody had cut his tail off and wrapped it in gauze and medical tape. Like, why? So when this happened...
Wow. Again, that's so disgusting and horrible. But at the same time, what do you expect from people who are out there blowing up children, right? Are you really that surprised? And it's also a little bit sad that people that listen to this are probably going to feel so bad for the dog, which, animal cruelty, it's a horrible thing. But at the same time, there's humans, there's children, there's babies, there are women that are getting treated this way, and far worse, far worse.
Happens, and it happens all the time. We have to go to the Israelis and say, stop harassing our people. And they're like, okay. And then they stop for a year or two. And then they start doing it again.
Ha ha ha! Again, you see these tactics all over. So this, again, he's talking specifically about Mossad, but you see the same crap in the IDF or even in the Israeli government in general. What this reminds me of is when they're building settlements in the West Bank. And slowly and steadily, they're just, trying to take over the West Bank. And mark my words, the West Bank is next. Once Gaza is taken care of, once that discussion dies down, West Bank is next. And, may Allah protect the people of West Bank. But you see this a lot where, a lot of protesters come out, and there's this, news all over the place about these illegal settlements. Israel will say, no, we're going to stop. And they cool down for a year or two, or even less than that. And then they just pick it right back up where they started and start with the settlements right over again. It's never a forever answer.
Why do you... Okay, give me one you trusted the most.
The Brits. I worked very, very closely with the Brits.
Why were they easier to work with?
Because our national interests are so closely aligned, especially on the issues that I was working on, terrorism, that everything we wanted to do, they wanted to do as well. And one of the great things about MI6 and MI5, frankly, is that their bureaucracy is a fraction of what ours is.
Just another reminder, make sure you like this video and subscribe to my channel. Only about 5 or 6% of you are subscribed. Many of you forget. Just press the button. It takes 2 seconds, and it really helps get this video out to a larger audience. Thank you. Now let's continue.
And so let's say I want to do something against Hezbollah. It's going to take 6 months of paperwork for 5 different layers to approve. The Brits want to do something against Hezbollah. They just go out and do it. And then they'll call us and say, hey, we're going to do this thing against Hezbollah. You went in? I say, heck yeah, I went in. They fly out to London and, implement it together. So I worked closely with them in different countries all around the world.
Who would you put second on who you guys didn't trust?
didn't trust
behind Israel.
Well, you can't trust obviously the Russians, the Chinese, the Iranians, the Cubans, the usual cast of characters. I
Yikes! So he's putting Israel in the same camp as the Russians, Chinese, Cubans, all that.
will say I had a serious problem with the French.
Didn't France help Israel get nuked, or what's the relationship between France and nukes?
That's the rumor. Yeah, the rumor is it was the French and the South Africans
that worked with them.
Yes.
So okay, so do you trust Russia's intel agency more than you trust Israel?
No, I don't trust either one of them. I will say that both of them are outstanding services, but I think the Israelis are probably the best in the world.
And is that an element of how dirty they are, or is that an element of envy that they're actually better than us in intel?
It's a combination of the two. I'll give you an example, Patrick. This thing with the pagers last year. Oh my God. What can you imagine the complexity of an operation like that, where you have to control literally every step of the way from production through the supply chain?
Insane.
It's insane.
That's
I got a
insane.
call from a Russian TV network the next day, and they said, "Would you come on and talk about this pager operation?" I said, "Sure." And they said, "It's a war crime, right?" And I said, "It might be, because there were innocent people." But I said, "It was friggin' brilliant." I said, I can tell you, even after 15 years at the CIA, nobody at the CIA would have come up with an operation that was this incredible and outside the box. Deep respect to the Israelis. Whether it was legal or illegal, deep respect. Well, yeah, but can't you say it was a war crime or a crime against humanity? And I said, no, I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say somebody at Mossad's getting promoted today, because that's the most incredible operation I've ever seen in my life. Kudos to them.
Yeah. So to me, I wonder if what they've done is they've been able to infiltrate and outmaneuver our agency.
See, I hate when Patrick Bet David does this, because he starts saying all these things about Israel, like, you know what, Israel, we should just give them credit because they've done so much and they've kind of out negotiated the United States, outmaneuvered the United States, out all these different things. And say, dude, man, stop being such a bootlicker. I'm sorry, just stop being such a bootlicker, because what you're trying to do is you're trying to please Israel by saying all these good things, these flattering things about them. But at the end of the day, they're at the cost of who? At the cost of the United States of America. They're doing better than us. Maybe even they did better than us and we let them get ahead. That doesn't mean that's a good thing. We got to pull them back while we still can, or we risk losing a lot of leverage, quite frankly, and that's against our best national interest. Like, for example, it's like China. We let China grow so big and so powerful, and now look at them. They are another world superpower, when in fact we could have controlled that. We could have controlled that, and maybe today China would not have been the superpower that it is.
Our intel, our politicians, and now a lot of Americans are annoyed, and a lot of leaders are annoyed that they outmaneuvered them.
It's not being annoyed. It's being that a lot of Americans are waking up to the fact that this had happened to them without them realizing. That's what's happened. If we knew about this 5, 10, 15 years ago, if the majority of Americans knew about this, they would be just as outraged as they are today. It's not about being annoyed because we were outmaneuvered. It's because we were played.
I think you've hit it on the head.
I think
that's exactly it,
Yeah.
because it's not just intel, it's politics as well.
right. But guess what? You can be as angry as you want. You could have stopped it. You fell for it.
Yeah, so does that mean that we don't stop it now that we still have a chance, or do we just, like, hey, we fell for it. Now that's it. They won. Do we just take the L like that? No. We got to do something about it. Stop funding them.
You can say whatever you want about them. They outdid you.
Yes,
They out-strategized you.
exactly right.
They outmaneuvered you, and you fell for it.
After I left this
Imagine being a super patriotic American and you're just like, hey, it is what it is, man. I'm not gonna do anything. I'm actually proud of them. Good for them, guys. You guys really did it. Great job today. Like, it's such a silly answer. It's very not America first.
Senate, the CIA. I went to the private sector for a few years,
Yeah.
and then I went to the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. I was the senior investigator. And I was on the job for like 3 days. And these two lobbyists come to the office, and this would happen all the time. Lobbyists come in for, whatever, international shipping or whatever. These guys were from APAC. Congratulations on your new position. I said, oh, thank you very much. We would like to offer you an all expenses paid trip to the Holy Land. I said, oh, thanks. No, not for me, but I appreciate it. Well, we're taking a large group of people and we're going to take you to all the Christian sites. I said, thank you. I can pay for my own
Dang, APAC is quick with it.
vacations. I'm not interested. And, I'd always heard that they did things like that because they want to get you right off the bat. But so public and obvious and blatant about it.
Guess what? I wish we would do that.
Hey, if you enjoyed that video, YouTube says you'll love this video right here. And also go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel right here. It only takes 1 second to do. Only about 5 or 6% of you are subscribed to my channel. Go ahead and press it. It's free. It takes a second. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much.